this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers Academy, and today we are covering online arbitrage workshop part 2. We've already covered part 1. We had a lot of great information in part 1, so let's go ahead and knock out part 2. So last week we talked about what online arbitrage was, walked through the activity of installing the app. We explained sales rank and restricted categories and brands. That is specific to Amazon. It does not apply to any other platform. And we talked about using the Amazon Seller app. We talked about sourcing items online. And we're actually going to go look at a couple of things that I sourced online this week. And we talked about, we didn't necessarily talk about what to source now, but we are going to talk about it today. So we're going to cover today, we're going to talk about Keepa and using Keepa to do some product research. We're also going to look at a couple of other Chrome extensions that you could use to help you do some product research. There's also paid apps if you decide you want to purchase some paid apps. There's some great paid apps out there, but if you want to do product research, there are some free tools that are available. DS Quick View may no longer be available. I need to just check because sometimes Chrome extensions the developers no longer support them. And so we'll have to see. But the others should still be there. We're going to talk about some profit margins and ROI. We're also going to talk through one of my favorite strategies, which is to scan and list a product. And then we're going to walk through what to do when your products arrive, and how to check them after arrival, and prepping, packing, and shipping your products to your customer. So again, this is all about online arbitrage. So the first thing that we're going to cover is Keepa. Now, Keepa is a Chrome extension or browser extension. I say it's a Chrome extension. I have not tried to install Keepa on, any other browser. I don't know if it has the capability to install on other browsers, but I use it on Chrome. Oh, well, I guess it does because it says Firefox down here. And what is that? Edge? The E is Edge. I don't know what the O is. I don't know what that is. But I've never installed it on any other. So I just use the Chrome extension. And it'll let you track the product price and the history over a period of time on Amazon. Why does that matter? Because I love using Amazon to do product research. Like, you get a lot of great free data just from looking at Amazon. Even if you decide not to sell on Amazon, you can still use it to do product research. And I think that's one of the things that people don't realize, that you can do a lot of product research on Amazon. And then it can help you avoid making the wrong purchase choices. That's for sure, because you can go out there and look at the history on something, what the price is, when it sold out, how many sellers were on the listing. I'm probably getting ahead of myself because I think it's on the next slide. But anyway, it is a paid extension. It is so worth it. If you want to sign up and get Keepa, this is one of the paid extensions we do recommend. So you can go to bit.ly/ all in lowercase ESA KEEPA. Definitely sign up for Keepa. It is a great extension. So the things that you can do with Keepa, I got ahead of myself. You can track your price drops on Amazon, any products that you have on Amazon. You can watch for daily deals. I don't do that as much, but sometimes you can get a great daily deal. Like, you find something that is really, really inexpensive and turn around and flip it back onto Amazon or any other platform that you might be selling on. It might be worth it, depending on the margins. You can customize the data view so that you see what it is that you want to see for the time range that you want to see it. You can indicate, what are the things that you are looking for. You can view the lowest, the current, and the highest in the average price on the product. That is key because, again, if you're going to sell the product, sometimes, we buy inventory and, we don't know that this thing tanks, like maybe it tanks around October. And you just have to wait for all those people to sell out, because it may be a product that sells on a regular basis until the product comes back up, and maybe it comes back up in January. So those people that take a loss and decide they're just going to sell out because it's not doing anything, October, November, December, and then they don't realize that if you wait all the other sellers out, you can sell it for the high price that you were wanting, or you can leave it at that price and it'll start to sell again. You can see how many times a month the product is sold. You can see data about which seller has the buy box. And again, you can see when there's a boatload of sellers that come onto a listing. You'll find that a lot with seasonal related or holiday related items that sell over and over again. You know, in January or February, there might not be like 200 sellers on the Christmas trees. But as you get closer to October, you'll see, oh, okay, there's 50 sellers on the Christmas trees. Okay, November, there are 110 sellers on the Christmas trees. Like you, meaning those are the number of sellers that are on a Christmas tree listing. Whatever is happening when you're using Keepa, whatever is happening on Amazon, you have to know that same activity, that same thing is happening on other platforms, just at a lower scale, a smaller scale. So keep that in mind, that Amazon can be your basis for what this thing is doing, what the activity is that it's having. And then as long as you do a great job with your title, your images, your keywords, then you should start to get results. Amazon is still king, but you can still get traffic on other sites. And I believe Keepa is now available for Walmart as well, which is fantastic. If not, there's another tool called Data Spark that's available for Walmart. So those two, will give you some great data on Walmart if you're a Walmart seller. You can sometimes see how many products a seller has in stock. So again, these are things that you can see with Keepa, which is a great thing. This is what it looks like, and we have got to take a better picture of this. I got to get a new picture of Keepa. But again, as you can see, like there's some data that's available here that's going to give you, you see all of indirectly, sometimes it looks like a stock market because you can see the ups and downs, and the price goes up, and who has the buy box, the price goes down. You can see the activity on a specific product, especially if it's a product that sells all the time. If it's a new product, you're not going to have this level of data. The best you can do is maybe find a similar or related product and kind of see what the history is on that related product, if this is a brand new product that's just now coming to the market. The next one is DS Quick View. And again, I don't know if this Chrome extension is still alive, but if it is, I suggest that you install it. I have a lot of Chrome extensions, so my ability to tell you if this one is still active, I have so many that just launch as soon as I go to Amazon. Again, using this as a helpful tool. There are some tools that are comparable to DS Quick View. If you can't find DS Quick View, you can do a search on Chrome extensions, and you can find other Amazon related Chrome extensions that will give you some data. So some of the stuff that it's going to tell you, it tells you the sales rank for an item in the primary category, and then what the sales rank is for it in the secondary categories. Normally you would have to click on it and then scroll down the product description to get that information, but here you don't have to do that. You can also get a leg up or heads up on whether or not it's being sold by Amazon or somebody else, and how many sellers are on the list. So that's some helpful information. Again, there are other Chrome extensions that will do similar things, and so I would take advantage of that for sure. Okay, then we have Camel. Camel gives you some great information as well. It's going to give you historical pricing data. Again, over the two, I prefer Keepa, but Camel still has some great information. And you can set a price watch to see when the product price drops. So when it drops from a retail online arbitrage standpoint, you want to buy it when the price is low, so you can sell it when the price goes up. So it's very similar to the stock market in the fact that you want to buy things when they're low. But this is another Chrome extension. And like I said, if you go to Chrome extensions, you'll see some of the other Chrome extensions that are Amazon related that may help you on this awesome journey that you're on for e-commerce. So the next thing we want to talk about, and I got to move this little loading forward. Okay. So your ROI and your profit margin. So your goal is to make sure that when you're buying a product that you actually are going to make some money off the product. So the ROI is your return on investment, and that is the difference between the profit and the cost of the investment. In other words, how much did the thing cost? So if the item costs $50 and to buy, and you're selling it for $150 minus fees, minus everything else, you do easy, simple math, you say it's $100 profit. The reality might be that it's probably closer to like an $80 profit or something like that, because you got fees and all that other stuff. But you do need to figure out, what your ROI is. So when you are doing online arbitrage, doing that product research on whether or not this thing is selling, when this thing is selling, is it coming into a season where it might start selling, or is it leaving a season where it is not, it's the sales on it are going to drop. And so that's sometimes when people lower the price on things just so they can get rid of it. The goal is for you to make 50% or more on your product. So with eCom sellers, we give you a list of retail arbitrage items. And so our minimum ROI is, I think, 30%. That's the minimum. And so there are times when we give you products where there's a 40% or 50% or a 60%. But if you can, sell products that have a 50% ROI, that's a nice ROI to have. So when you're calculating your potential profit, you need to make sure that you have the product cost, which is what we talked about, the platform fees. And I said, yeah, there's some other fees that are involved. The estimated shipping cost. Now, estimated shipping cost to get it to you, because you're doing online arbitrage. And so you're going to take that item once you receive it and go do something else with it. Whether it is listing on a platform or whether you're going to ship it ship it to a fulfillment center or a prep center for yourself, one of the others. And sometimes you can buy stuff and have it shipped directly to the prep center and have them check it in for you. Your call if you have a relationship with the prep center. So shipping costs could be something, it's definitely going to be something you're going to incur, whether it's shipping it to yourself or shipping it to your fulfillment center. And then from there, the shipping to the customer, you want to charge the customer for shipping when you have a chance. Most of the time, like, we try to do free shipping and we'll add the cost of shipping it to the person. But with everything that's happening with USPS and FedEx and UPS, like, I think we're all at a place where you should start charging shipping. Okay. I'm just telling you, if you haven't heard it from other sellers that are doing classes, teaching classes, I'm telling you now, I think we're at a place where you no longer do free shipping because the price of shipping is changing so much. Potential storage fees. Again, I don't know if you're sending it to a prep center. I don't know if you're sending it to Amazon FBA. So if you've got your own fulfillment center or you've got your own prep center, maybe they're going to need to do some prep. Then, whatever that estimated cost is. I will tell you that the majority of fulfillment centers and prep centers that are not Amazon, okay, because Amazon does have prep services and they are high. They also have a fulfillment center, FBA, and of course the fees are high. I think that a significant number of the fulfillment and prep centers have comparable rates, if not lower rates than Amazon. So again, since Amazon is limiting or restricting the storage fees, I'm taking a left turn at Albuquerque for just a second. Since Amazon has been limiting the amount that you can send in and charging you storage fees, you might want to start exploring using fulfillment and or prep centers. Just make sure that they've been in business for a while. And then keep in mind the sales velocity of a product. How fast will it flip? How fast will it move? So things that are Christmas related right now, like, they're going to move fast because people are buying Christmas related stuff. So it's going to move very fast. Things that are like New Year's related or things that you might use starting in the new year, those are going to move very fast. Mother's Day gifts right now are not going to move fast. A mother's gift for Christmas is going to move fast. Like, Easter baskets are not going to move fast right now. But as you get closer and closer to Easter, as you get past February, then into March, you're like, okay, Easter baskets are moving like crazy. So pay attention to the sales velocity of products. When are they going to start moving? When are they going to start selling? Okay. So we want you to go and review a product. I'm sure you got products in your house. You go pick something up. Pick up, like a roll of toilet paper still in the packaging, or a dishwashing liquid. If you got dishwashing liquid near you, go get something from your pantry, a can of something. Because what we're going to do is we're going to scan an item using the Amazon Seller app. And that activity can be helpful because there's different things that we talked about in the first session. We're going to use that information to go pay attention to some other things. So if you can grab an item, we're going to scan it. I don't know what I got. I got stuff on my desk. Supplement. I have a boatload of supplements. Okay. I have supplements on my. I have stuff with the Amazon barcodes on it. Let me just see. What do I have? Okay. So I have a bunch of supplements. Okay. So we're going to scan the item using the Amazon Seller app or on Amazon.com. We can go look it up. So what we're doing is we're going to go and look at the rating for an item. We're going to go look at the ask a question section. And if you happen, and then also we're going to go look at frequently sold together. So these are things that can help you when you're trying to figure out, okay, should I sell this item before you actually like decide you're going to order it and send it into Amazon or order it and list it on a platform. If an item has not so hot ratings, I always say if it's below 4, I'm not interested in selling it because I just don't want to deal with returns. Like if it's at 3.5, I don't just want to deal with returns. So I try to stay with my 4s. I know that sometimes when things come out, the ratings are bad on them. So I try to keep that in mind. The ratings can be bad on things that's not right because it could be that when it first came out, they had some issues with packaging and now they fixed it, blah, blah, blah. The ask a question section, that could also give you some insight into other potential things that you could be selling. If there's any problems with it. And then frequently sold together can also give you some ideas around bundling. So if you scan the item using your seller app, you can you sell it or not? That's the first thing you want to see, especially if you're planning on selling it on Amazon. If you can't sell it on Amazon, can you sell it on other platforms? Yes, absolutely. If you can't sell it on Amazon, and if you have accounts on other platforms, like if you're selling on eBay, if you're selling on Mercari, you're selling on Facebook Marketplace, you're selling on Walmart, selling on some of these other platforms, and go sell it somewhere else. And will it sell? So again, if the stars are not good, if it's like 3 or 2, then the ratings, I'm going to be like, I may not be selling this thing. What's the sales rank? Sales rank is going to tell us what? It's going to tell us how fast this item is selling. So that's your sales velocity. How fast is it moving? How many sellers are on the listing when you're actually pulling up the thing, whatever it is you went and got out of your cabinet, if you got out of your bathroom or your kitchen or in your office, you can scroll to the side and see how many sellers are on the listing. And then is there a profit? If you decide I'm going to do some retail arbitrage, I'm going to sell this item, is there any profit? So we're going to walk through that exercise. If you didn't already pull something out, pull it out. We're going to step through those things. And then review the difference on your Amazon seller app on what is the difference in potential profit if you do merchant fulfilled or seller fulfilled versus FBA. I think 2022 is definitely going to be the year of seller fulfilled because I thought that 2020 and 2021 was going to be the year of seller fulfilled, but a lot of people still trying to send stuff into Amazon. So I think, get a relationship with another fulfillment center because Amazon is making it interesting for everybody. Okay, so as we kind of went through the process, this is one of my favorite methods of scan and list. I can scan something. I can pick up anything in my house and scan without leaving the front door at all. You can also scan things from your screen as you're doing retail arbitrage. So when I'm scanning an item, I can see what the price is that it's selling for over here. This is the seller app. I can see, the low price right now, and you don't always have to sell things at the low price, just so you know. You can see the FBA fees and you can see the high price. I can also see the number of sellers. So I can see that there are sellers that have these are FBA. There's 3 that are FBA and there are 3 that are not FBA. So when you're scanning and then you decide you're going to click on the list at that point, just to add it to your inventory. You can add it to your inventory as merchant fulfilled, seller fulfilled, or you can add it to your inventory and say that it's going into Amazon FBA. So when you click on list, then you're going to have to indicate the condition, the price, the quantity, and the SKU if you have a SKU already, configured, set up, or you have a naming convention for your SKUs. And so you're going to enter that stuff, and that's represented in the middle. Then as you scroll down, you're going to have a place where you you indicate, I'm going to ship it myself. And that means that you are doing seller fulfilled or merchant fulfilled. You're going to ship it yourself. So if you're doing seller fulfilled, that means you yourself are going to physically ship this to the customer, or you're going to ship it to your prep center, fulfillment center, whatever, and they're going to ship it to the customer when the item sells. When you decide you're going to send it into Amazon, that is actually FBA. So that means that Amazon is going to fulfill the order once they check in your inventory. So you would package up your inventory. First you would actually add it to your inventory. You would print out your bar labels. You stick your labels on your items. You would, finish the shipment. And then once you finish the shipment, they'll tell you what goes in which boxes and where it's being shipped, whether these items are going to Illinois and these items are going to Iowa. And then once you figure all that out, this is all Amazon FBA. Then once they check it in, then, it will have the Amazon 2-day shipping badge on there and people will potentially buy there. You can still get the 2-day badge if you're doing seller fulfilled. It just depends on how quickly you're shipping things out and what you're, a couple other factors. But in any case, if you're going to sell it yourself, you're going to ship it yourself. You're shipping it yourself doesn't always mean that you're doing it. You could actually use a fulfillment center or a prep center to do it for you. They would more than likely want to have an integration access to your account, so they're auto notified when you get a sale. Or you can ship it yourself, which one you want to do. So once we click continue, then you can see, this is the price I'm deciding I'm going to sell it for. And you will submit your listing and you'll get a notification. This is on the seller app. You get a notification from Amazon that says, hey, you successfully listed your item. That's the short version of doing seller fulfilled. So again, seller fulfilled also applies to, or merchant fulfilled. When you sell things on eBay, that's always, that's merchant fulfilled. When you sell things on Mercari, you sell things on Facebook Marketplace, those are all merchant fulfilled. Walmart does have Walmart fulfillment services if you decide you want to use that. But if you don't, you can use Deliver, and that's still considered seller fulfilled. Because again, Walmart is not shipping it to the customer for you. Amazon is not shipping it to the customer for you. So that means you and or any other service that you decided to hire is shipping it to the customer. Okay, so I am going to take a second here. We're going to go into the Facebook group. I have so many things going on. So a lot of stuff. Just a second, 90,000 windows. Okay, so I'm going to go over to eCom Sellers Academy. Actually, let me just go to my page. I don't know what's on my page. All right, so on my page, here's a couple of products that I actually did product research on. So this item right now is selling on Amazon for $126. So this would be one of those that I could take my Amazon seller app and I could scan and I could list it. I could purchase the item from Michael's and have it available when or if somebody buys it from me. I'm not necessarily drop shipping from Michael's. I'm actually ordering a quantity if I have the money to be able to do that. So this particular item is selling on Amazon for $126. I can see the ratings. It's got 116 ratings. It's got 4.5 stars on it. The number of sellers, it indicates right here, this little tiny number says 3. So I got 3 sellers that are shipping, and then there's some of them are doing free shipping. So you can see that there are multiple sellers on it. When I scroll, I can see that my source for this particular item, Michael's has 2 different things happening, or at least they did for Cyber Monday. So they had the 20% off of regular price if you put that code in. But at the bottom, if you wanted to get 25% off, I could ignore this 20% off. I don't know if they're going to let you stack, but there's sometimes on certain sites that you can stack. But this one happened to be 25% off. So their price is $89.99. And they had 25% off. That dropped the price down to like $67.50. So you turn it around and sell it for $129. That's a nice profit. And I could sell it on any platform. I don't necessarily have to sell it on Amazon. I could use Amazon as the basis for my research. So I could go list it for $126 on Facebook Marketplace, or I could go list it on eBay for $126. I can go list it wherever I'm going to go list it. the thing you want to be mindful of is that, okay, what's the price of my source? And there might also be like a Rakuten cashback going on where you log into your Rakuten account and you could get it even lower than 67.50. But yeah, this particular item, you know, I don't know if anybody paid attention to that. I was like, yeah, you got the 20% at the top, but you also had this little 25% over in the corner. I'm gonna take the 25% so I can maximize my ROI. Okay, just saying. All right, so that was one. And again, I would order a quantity of those, or maybe just one or two. And then once I order one or two, I would list them and it would give me the opportunity, to sell. And so someone was asking me how I got to my ROI, and I just broke it all down for them so that they can go look at it. So then the next one is, this one's over 30% ROI. So this is a smaller item, whereas this item is a much bigger item. So you also have to be prepared for, you're going to have higher shipping costs with this one because it is a higher shipping. And going into 2022, there's going to be a higher shipping cost. So as I look at this one, online arbitrage, again, on Amazon is selling between 33 and 35. I didn't get the picture shot that said the number of sellers, but I can see the ratings on it. So this thing has got really good ratings. It has 19 questions on it. I'll probably go check that out to see if it's going to cause me any problems. And I may also look and see what's frequently sold together, see if I can go find that item, maybe create a bundle so I can stand out. So I could buy this item right now at Best Buy and it's selling for $19. Well, I know that $19.99. So I know that I can use the Rakuten cash back. And so I can reduce that price from 19 to something lower. Maybe it'll be $17.99, might be $16.99. Best Buy may also have some kind of, at the time, Cyber Monday breakdown that they were doing where they were giving an additional discount. So you'll probably get it for less than $19.99. But anyway, the ROI would have been amazing on that one. And again, this is another one where you can take your Amazon, you take your phone and you can activate your Amazon seller app and scan the image. And then if, it says that you're approved to be able to sell this, you don't have a message that says restricted when you scan something, then that means you can sell it. And so I would scan it. And at first I would add it to my cart over here on Best Buy at the lowest price that I can possibly get it, and include your cashback cards as well. And then, so I make sure that I've bought it. And then after I buy it, then I would go list it. I would list it so that way I knew it was coming to me or it was en route to me or something like that. And I might wait 2 days before I actually list it so I don't get into trouble because I don't want no problems. We don't know what's going on with shipping. So this one is over 40% ROI. Again, another one. So this one is selling on Walmart and be selling on Amazon. It could be selling on some of the other platforms, but the cost that it's selling for is $39.69. Okay, and so and it's selling on Amazon for $29.99 to $35.99. Well, the source for this particular item is Michael's. So Michael's had a deal, and I could get 20% off, or whatever the price was. I don't know. I think, the website I think is doing 20% off. So this is not even the 20% off. This is just the $20.29 because that's the savings that they were offering. And then I could put in the promo code and probably lower the price even more, or use a cash back, or use Rakuten or Top Cash back. But anyway, I could possibly get it for below $20.29, and then I know that I have the potential to sell this thing for upwards of just under $40. And it's not a super large item. It is bigger, but it's not a super large item. So it's a floor mat. Well, it's wide. You probably want to look at the dimensions and go see. I didn't grab any of that, did I? Yeah, no, I did. So it's about just a little around the size, like regular sheet of paper is 8.5 by 11. So it's clearly like a 12 by 12. So it's a little bit bigger than an 11, which, you can gauge that. So that's still doable. It's still completely doable. And these are all things just doing online arbitrage research and just looking in stores and sourcing from stores that we all may know. So let me go back to where we were. So I hope that was helpful. So from a sourcing standpoint, doing online arbitrage, And your goal for online arbitrage is not drop shipping. I'm not drop shipping from Michael's. I'm not drop shipping from Best Buy. I'm making sure that I actually have the item. I purchase it. I may purchase it in quantity so that I can sell multiples of it, especially if the sales rank is good, if the rating is good, if it is an item that is in demand, it's moving, the sales velocity is good. I'm interested in selling it. If all of those things don't apply, then I may not be interested in selling it. So where can I source for online arbitrage? All the same places that you would do retail arbitrage, physical retail arbitrage. And some of the stores may not have like the ability to do online arbitrage. Like the 99-cent store is one of those that does not have online arbitrage options. Like you can't research items on the 99-cent store. And then the Dollar Tree like doesn't have all of their products online. So there's some stores that just don't have all their products. And that's why going to a physical store is good. So you can also check out grocery stores. Again, some grocery stores will have great deals. So selling grocery products is always, the shelf stable ones is always a good thing because people, those are considered replenishables, consumables. People are going to run out of food. Like they got to go to the store and buy some more. So anything that they got to buy over and over and over again, those are the things you might want to consider selling. That's always a good thing. Somebody runs out of something, they got to buy more. So then we have the drugstores, and we know that some of these stores are going out of business. Well, I won't say go out of business. Like CVS, I think is closing 600 stores next year or something like that, or 300, some kind of crazy number. But you can go through like sporting goods stores, pet stores, hardware stores. And a lot of the times when people are doing online arbitrage, they're focusing 100% on Walmart and Target. And they're missing the opportunities on some of these other stores that you're not thinking about. So, I've talked about Michael's twice now. There's stuff on Party City. There's stuff on Best Buy. There's stuff on Hobby Lobby. You can't find, Ollie's doesn't have an online catalog, and neither does Dirt Cheap, and neither does a 99-cent store. But again, Staples has an online store. Office Depot does. I think GameStop may still have one. Burlington Coat Factory, Tuesday Morning. So, and I think Tuesday Morning is closed now. One of these is closed. But the grocery stores for sure, the warehouses for sure, I'm trying to think, pet stores, hardware stores, drugstores. And then there's a handful of other stores, like there are stores that may have items that they have listed. It doesn't always happen, but there are sometimes that you can find some things. If you go like look up a specific thrift store that might be in your area, they may have a handful of products that are online. Okay. And then in addition to that, estate sales will sometimes list some things online. So you might do research to see when the next estate sales are, and if they start listing things, so you can do an online auction. Facebook garage sale groups, sometimes you can find stuff in bulk there. But again, you got to figure out how to get it to you, because again, online arbitrage is about not going out physically. It is about having the stuff delivered to you. So you need to figure that out. Maybe you can hire a shopper to go out and do some of that work for you. Liquidations, you can always buy liquidations. You just always want to make sure that you at least have a decent idea of what might be in that liquidation pallet. It doesn't always have exactly what it says it's supposed to have in it. And some of the stuff that they get doesn't work. So you want to be prepared for that. Other online stores, you got Wayfair, Overstock, Hey Needle, there's others. And then you also have some of the wholesale suppliers. And some of the wholesale suppliers will actually do drop shipping for you. So again, you can turn that online arbitrage research into a drop shipping situation. But again, you would be ordering for some of these, you'd be ordering in bulk, and you would be, what's moving, what's selling, what's going to be moving, what's going to be selling. So again, I'm not going to be buying blankets to go sit in the sand right now. I could buy them because they're probably dirt cheap right now. So I could source them now, buy them, have them in my inventory, and then ready to, sell them or list them as you get closer. And there are people that, do things like they go to the beach for Christmas and for New Year's. And so they don't want to stay where they are if it's somewhere cold like Minnesota. And that's how they, they're going to order things online. So one of the things, the weirdest things that when I first started selling that I didn't really truly pay attention to, I was trying to figure out, I bought all these arm floaties like in October and November, like my second year of selling. And I bought them when they were clearance styles. They were like 85, 90% off. I got them for really, really cheap. And I listed them like in December. I just went ahead and listed them. I had them, just go ahead and list everything. And I started getting a boatload of sales in February. Like they were selling out like crazy. I was like, why are they selling out? Well, people were getting ready for spring break. So people were buying stuff, in advance of when they're going to be taking their vacation and spring break in March. So again, you just never know. I would not have expected that. I'm confident that I would have sold way more as you got closer to the spring. But the irony was people went online. There weren't a lot of sellers that had arm floaties listed. Why? Because traditionally, people would be buying arm floaties maybe in April, May, and June. They would not be buying them in January. And so I think that's the reason why I got the sales. I got a boatload of sales because I was one of a few sellers that actually had inventory up, but people were looking for it. So that is a strategy that you could look into further. So when you're seller fulfilling orders, again, I've talked a lot about prep centers and using a prep center. If you have an Amazon account and you're an Amazon seller, then you're going to log into your back office and you're going to go to manage orders. And then from there, you're going to pull up that order and mark it as shipped before the deadline that Amazon says, so you don't get in trouble. Now, if you decide to do a fulfillment center, more than likely they're going to have some kind of integration. So you will not have to do anything, maybe, or depending on whether or not they do or don't have a really good integration, you may have to do one or two things just to double check things. But when you are going into your manage orders, make sure you provide a tracking number, manage your delivery time. So, if you're processing it yourself, like you're not using a prep center, just be mindful of, that you have orders and that you need to get them out, or how long it takes you to find a box and to package it up, or where is it cataloged in your house? Because you might have 20 tubs. I have close to 300 tubs. And you might have 20 tubs and you don't know which tub that particular item is in. So try to have a catalog system so you know where your stuff is. Set your return instructions and confirm your return address. And then comply with all of course, Amazon's terms of service. So figure out what your return address is going to be. So shipping them, I don't know why this is such gigantic print. I don't know why it's so big. It's ginormous. Oh my God. So an easy way to hit all the points is to fulfill your orders through Seller Central. Yep. And whenever possible, and using Amazon's buy your shipping through Amazon. So if you decide you're going to buy your shipping through Amazon, you got to buy your label, or individually says, buy shipping. You can do that. You can do that. So using Amazon's buy shipping ensures that your products are delivered to your customers using the trusted network of carriers and suppliers. And yes, so you do want to buy it from Amazon because it'll automatically put the tracking number on there. But if you use like an integration tool of some type, then again, you can get that tracking number put in there as well, so your customer knows. And around this time of the year, just a heads up, this is the end of November, beginning of December is right around the corner. The thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is, whenever possible, depending on the platform, try to make sure that you're sending messages to your customers so that they have a heads up that everything is okay. Try to do that. Just check, maybe you hire a VA, just check to see if the item has already been picked up, if it's en route, and if it shows delivered. And then also when you have customers that are saying, I didn't receive my package, it's entirely possible that they possibly could not have received their package, but you want to ask them to allow at least 2 days, 24 hours to 48 hours to confirm that the item has not been received. And the reason I say that is because the one thing about USPS is that they will put the item on the truck and say, mark, in some cases, not always, that it has been delivered. But you have to go and check when the driver is going around. The driver may not be able to empty the truck that day. That also happens around this time of the year with UPS, is that they'll put it on the truck, it says that it's delivered or out for delivery, it's going to be delivered today. And then the reality is it doesn't get delivered today, and people are like, oh, but it was delivered. It says it's going to be delivered by 10 p.m. and it didn't happen. And so people get frustrated and they think it's been stolen, and it may not have been stolen. And then when the driver comes around again tomorrow or the next day, they drop it off because it's been on the truck the whole time. They just had so many packages, they just never got to that one. So that could be one of your situations. So when you're packaging up your item, if you're packaging it up yourself, choose a container that is slightly larger than your item. You don't want to crush your item. If it's something that's like clothing or stuff, like you can smash it and it won't cause any problems because it's going to go back to its shape, that's fine. But if there are things that, oh, this is going to be a problem, then try to find something a little bit bigger. Whenever it makes sense, use bubble wrap or packing peanuts. If you're going to send it into FBA, don't ever send in anything to FBA with packing peanuts. You do not want to get in trouble with FBA. They'll give you a hard time. Use clear or brown packaging tape and reinforce your packing, especially this time of the year. They throw those boxes into the trucks. They throw them into the bottom of the planes. They throw them onto the front door. They throw them. Just reinforce the entire box like a cross all the way around it, and go around it one way and then go around it the opposite way and just reinforce that entire box. Okay? Because you do not, some of the craziest stuff shows up on people's front doors. People are just used to like putting the tape across the top of the box. And I'm like, reinforce the entire thing. Because there's a lot of throwing of boxes this time of year. Don't use masking tape, definitely. Don't use cellophane tape. Yeah, don't use that. Or string or twine. That's pretty obvious. And then tape the opening of the box, reinforce it. So again, all the stuff that I talked about before, just reinforce it. And if you're reusing boxes, we turn our boxes inside out, especially depending on which platforms you're selling on. Like if you're selling on Walmart, they don't want their customers to receive stuff in an Amazon box. I'm just going to tell you. Same thing with eBay. They get a little pissed off about that if the customer complains. So you can turn your boxes inside out because a lot of us have a boatload of Amazon boxes. Just turn the box inside out, rip off the Amazon tape and turn that bad boy inside out. They have no idea. So that's one way to get away with saying, no, I didn't drop ship from Amazon. So what to source right now or over the next 3 to 6 months? Well, of course, there's a boatload of Christmas stuff, so we already know that. But you also have, health and beauty items always sell. Food and perishable items right around now sell. A lot of candy sales for sure. And then you have prep items for those people that don't want to go to the store. They only go to the store once a month. So those types of items will sell. Things that people need because they're traveling, so they're going on vacation, they're going to grandma's house, they're going wherever. So winter and spring items and winter and spring activity items, air purifier and filters, baskets, spray bottles, cleaning supplies, because again, believe it or not, and within the next 6 months is going to be spring cleaning. So December, January, February, March, so 4 months, people will start that whole spring cleaning thing. So those are things that you could be sourcing now and be selling then. Fitness related items or equipment, and you want to say light equipment, because I'm not saying go out there and sell a treadmill unless you want to sell a treadmill. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money off of selling the big stuff. So you decide what you want to sell. Health and beauty related items, baby items, organization items. Again, the beginning of the year, people are going to be like, oh, I got to set my New Year's resolution. I'm going to get committed to getting whatever. And then they're going to I got to track my results. So they're going to get something so they can track their results. Christmas, New Year's, MLK, Valentine's Day, Super Bowl, St. Patty's Day, March Madness, Easter, Mother's Day, spring break. Okay. All of those things are, and I did not put spring cleaning, but write that down. People are also going to be going camping and grilling. They're going to want lawn items or things that you can take out cookware, sunscreen. Believe it or not, we're going to get to that place in the next 6 months where sunscreen is going to be a thing that people are going to be buying again. Tools, home improvement items, outdoor furniture, again, dorms. So there's a bunch of kids that are coming home for Christmas, and then they're going to go back to the dorms beginning of the year. So dorm related items are going to be selling here in a minute. They sell a lot more in July, than they do right now, but they will sell. Outdoor kind of stuff, canopy tables, chairs, that kind of stuff. And outdoor entertaining. Electronics are going to sell. A lot of electronic stuff is going to sell. So these are all things that you can be selling over the next 3 to 6 months. Keep those things in mind. And there's plenty more, like clothes. Those are always going to sell, and other types of items. So my son is just having an ink conniption fit next door. So how to scale your online arbitrage? Well, I'm going to start with, I always say, build a real work schedule. Nothing works unless you work. Like, you got to be consistent. You have to be consistent in your business. You have to be persistent. You have to be focused. And a lot of people don't get focused in their e-commerce business. So you got to be consistent. Building a real work schedule is going to help you to build the habits, and the habits will help you build the consistency. That is the key. The schedule helps you build the habit, and the habit will help you build this consistency. I've been saying that for years, like since 2013 or 14. So be consistent, pay attention to the trends, that's for sure. Source replenishables and consumables and steady eddies. That will help you build a baseline income. When you sell consumables, replenishables, and steady eddies, you got that baseline income. And when I say baseline, think of a pizza pie. The pizza pie, the crust is the baseline. The crust holds all the toppings. So if the crust is weak and flimsy, or it's not any good, like, that pizza pie is just going to fall apart. You want a really good base. And so selling replenishables, consumables, and steady eddies will help tide you over when there's ebbs and flows in products that you sell. Now, if you have a consistent product that you sell all the time, like get your own private label or white label, that's fine. But if you don't, and if you're just selling a variety of different things, and then you want to make sure you have a baseline. Outsource and hire some helpers. I believe in that. Reinvest your profits. If you're just starting in this e-commerce game, if you can reinvest 90% of your profits for the first 6 months, you will scale faster. I'm going to repeat that again. If you're just starting in this game and you reinvest 90% of your profits for the first 6 months and you maintain your consistency the entire 6 months and beyond, you will scale faster. You'll literally be able to reinvest more money into inventory, and it just will get bananas. I did a whole spreadsheet on how starting off with $25 investment every single week can get you to $3,000 every single week in profit by the end of the year. It's entirely possible. You just have to be consistent and not take the money out. Gradually increase your investment every single month, which I just definitely do that. Sell niches. So figure out a niche. So get your baseline products and then start selling some niches. And then you'll have regular income coming in from your business. Or decide to private label. You can do drop shipping, whichever one works for you. But again, we're talking about online arbitrage. So you can buy below wholesale using coupons, rebates, cashbacks, clearance, sales, gift cards, liquidations, going out of business, and buy and hold some of your seasonal items. We buy stuff all the time after the holiday is over. So we buy stuff after Halloween is over. We buy things after Thanksgiving is over because we're going to turn around and sell them next year. And we're going to sell them for full price. So if you get them for 75, 85, 90% off now, and you got a cashback card on top of that, and you got whatever rebates you got going on, like, you're getting this thing dirt cheap. It's below wholesale at that point. Then turn around and flip it for next year. Now, that strategy works perfectly if you're physically going into the stores. There are some stores where you can buy in large quantities online. And if not, just get your family members to go online and say, okay, I'm sending you guys all a card. Everybody gets their own card, and I need you to go to the site and you're going to buy and then put in my shipping address or whatever it happens to be. And then learn the store's inventory schedule and or pattern. Different stores have inventory schedules and patterns. When are they getting certain things things in? When are they putting stuff out on the floor? What are they holding in the back? Where do they store it temporarily until they can put it back out on the floor? Like all of that stuff. Start to learn that. Pay attention to it. Like be an observer of the stores when you go into stores, because you got to go to the store to buy stuff anyway. If you're going to run your business, your online arbitrage business, that's fine. When you're going to the grocery store to shop, then pay attention to some of that stuff. When you're going to Walmart to grab whatever you need to grab for yourself personally, pay attention, walk the store so you can pay attention. Then go home and start doing your online arbitrage, because they give you all types of ideas and strategies when you do that. Okay. All right. So we covered a lot. I throw it in the store. So we talked about a bunch of stuff, online arbitrage, we talked about the app, strategies. We actually looked at some stuff that you could source. And we talked about the stores that you can source from. We talked about some of the Chrome extensions. So I hope that all of this information is helpful to you. I hope that you will start implementing some of this into your business. If you take nothing else from this, the biggest thing is just to build a schedule and be consistent. That's really the biggest thing. Because once you do that, you'll start to gradually build the habits. Everyone is not perfect when they first get into this game. And that's the reason why so many people start and quit. But the reality is there's a lot of money still in e-commerce. There's a lot. You just have to be consistent and disciplined to be able to do the work. So I hope this information is helpful to you. If you're not a part of eCom Sellers Academy, we encourage you to join us. You can go to www.ecomsellersacademy.com. Always look out for our specials, because for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we were offering 50% off of our lifetime membership, which is a heck of a price. And I think it's the lowest price we've ever offered for the lifetime. And so otherwise, at this point, it's $17.99 a month. That's the current price. And we encourage you to join us. I hope this information was helpful. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers Academy, and we are going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all. See you later. Okay, so it's time for the Q&A. If you have questions, you can type your questions below this video or in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer them, or any of the other leaders will be happy to answer the questions in the comment section. Okay. Goodbye.